welcome back to my channel, Try5 Guy. This week we're going to be continuing on from our first video of the Pontiac Bonneville engine in my VR Commodore U. L27, both the same engines. I believe, and I've done some research on these now, that the L27 was US built. There was no Aussie made L27s ever. And I 100% believe that is a true thing. I think that the Ecotech was the first of the Australian built Buick 3800 engine, or Ecotech. They don't really call them Ecotechs over here like they do in Australia. They're all Buicks, and yeah, the Series 2 I believe was the first to be made in Australia in the engine plant over there somewhere. So like I said, this is a Flint built engine. So is the Ute engine too. That was built in the Saginaw plant in Flint, Michigan. It's an iron engine plant. That's got the stampings all over it, same as this. I haven't found out exactly what month that was made, but it could be an early engine, could be before 93. Sorry, it could be before 94, I don't know. But anyway, so here's the oil pan, or the sump. I cleaned it out. It took me an hour and a half to clean this, guys, I'm telling you. The pickup, got that all cleaned. I mean, I pressure washed this, the inside, and I was going to say shit that come out of it was unbelievable. I mean, and then blew it out. I used petrol, blew it out, cleaned it out, and, you know, I got it clean. It's pretty good now. So it's all clean, ready to go. Like I said, got the outside pretty well clean. I mean, good enough for now, right? I mean, I could have spent hours on all of it, but I mean, what do you stop? Like I said, this is going to go in for about a year, the most. This time next year, I want to bring it into here, into this garage, and start doing the LS swap for it. So, which would be fun, something different. I just want to touch on a couple of things, guys. Let me find, here it is. All right, so the L27 engine, a lot of people, you know, want to know what they were in. So let's start with this, right? So the first one that comes up, 1990 to 95 Buick Regal, 91 to 93 Buick Riviera, 92 to 95 Chevy Lumina APV. It's a van. It's like a Tarago, like a 95 Tarago, you know, like just a van, front-wheel drive. Holden Commodore, VN Series 2 VP and VR. Same in the Holden Caprice, same year, VQ VR. A 92 to 94 Pontiac Bonneville, which is what this was out of. 92 to 95 Pontiac Transport, which is the same as that Chevy APV Lumina. 92 to 94 Buick 88 and 98. Oldsmobile Tornado 91, 92. And a 92 to 95 Oldsmobile Silhouette, which is the same as the Transport and same as the Chevy Lumina APV, same. So that's what these engines were in. They ran for years. I mean, well, from 90 to 95, but I mean, there's a lot of them out there still. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to install the oil pan. I'm going to put the pickup, oil pan. I've got a new Felpro gasket for it. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I can start cleaning the outside of this, start getting it, you know, a little bit cleaner. It's not bad. I just want to make it look a little bit more presentable where, you know, it's not greasy, but it's pretty clean. But anyway, guys, I'll be right back. First thing I'm going to do is clean the top of the, well, the bottom of the block here for the gasket, so it's not got any oil on it. And make sure that's nice and clean. Make sure I don't have any crap on it. Pretty clean, actually. The whole motor's pretty clean. It's probably blown. Alright, so here's the gasket. I'll put this over here. Here's the gasket. It is part number. Here it is. It's a Felpro gasket. Part number OS30522R. Okay, that's what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is, comes with these little things here so you can hold it into position. You screw them in there, hold the gasket into place. But what I'm going to do is, over right here, where it joins the, sort of like the back here, the crank bearing, the crank, what do you call that? This crank end here, I'm going to put some silicone, just a little bit here and here, and put the gasket on, just to hold in the position. It is here, and here's the gasket for the pickup. I'll go right there. I'm just going to lay it on there first, guys, just to, you know, sort of like get it into its shape here, like so. Got to make sure we've got it the right way. Better get this out of here first. Put this over here. Make sure we've got it the right way. And we do or don't? Which one is it? We do. We do. All right. Here we go. Like I said, I'm going to get these. Put in the four corners here. One. I'm doing this right now just so, because the gasket's been, you know, in that box, but actually it's laying out really nice. So I'm not really too worried about it now. Now we're going to torque all these up. I'll tell you what the torque settings are in a second. All right. Oh, oops, don't put that in the motor. Okay, guys, so I'm going to put the pickup on. A little bit of Loctite on the bolts. I don't have a torque wrench that's inch-pound. Or, sorry, I don't have a torque wrench that goes below 20 pounds, foot-pounds. These are 11 foot-pounds or 132 inch-pound. So, does it go that way or this way? I think it goes that way. It does go that way. So I'll put a bit of blue Loctite. It's the removable type. Put that in. 132 inch-pound. Mine goes up to about 110, so I'll just go just a little bit more. With the Loctite, it ain't going to go nowhere. Just do that there. Okay, so that's already about 80 on that one. All right, that's definitely tight. Okay, and what I do is, I like to get a 3/8, just a wrench. Ooh, that doesn't fit on that one. It doesn't fit on that one. You know what I mean? Like, it's tight. I'm not going to try to move it anymore, but with the blue Loctite, yeah, that's tight. With the blue Loctite, once it hardens, it's removable, so it's not going to back out on its own, but that's good.
I lost some of the footage of me talking down the oil pan, but
so torqued the oil pan, the sump there, all torqued up nice, and I gave a bit of a rattle can Rico, just painted the block black again, so it's all brand new, right? What do you call that? Marketplace rebuilt. So yeah, that's all done. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the intake back on. And what I noticed was on the intake, one of the, I think it was this gully over here, water passage was blocked off. And I was on the forums and I asked a couple of people, and a couple of people got back to me. And they said, yeah, because they're reversible head. In other words, you can swap heads from one side to the other. And the intake was blocked off, or this port here on the intake was blocked off from factory. So it was that way. It cooled all right, the car. It never overheated. So I'm just going to leave it that way, guys. Yeah, I don't know if the blown head gasket was because of that, or me doing 75 mile an hour in second gear, but whatever, it was like that, so I'm just going to leave it, and I'm just going to bolt it on, torque. I'm going to put the new gaskets on. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone on these corners when I do that, so let's get going with that. Alright guys, I've got a Felpro intake manifold gasket set here, part number MS94918-1. Yeah, it's what I'm using. I don't know if there's any differences. It came with obviously the I call them China wall, but it come with these two. On small block Chevys we remove them, but I guess on these ones you don't. And I'm pretty sure they went this way, like that. I don't know if there's a right or left or whatever. Or do they go this way? They go this way on the block, like so. Probably, yeah, they sit under there. So what I'm going to do, guys, it comes with the Felpro black RTV silicone. I'm not using that. I'm going to use Permatex's Ultra Black. I'm going to use the Ultra Black, Permatex Ultra Black. I just prefer to use that on these. So I'm going to put these on here. Kind of like they fit, seem like they fit underneath the cylinder head as well, but like that. I'm just going to put a dab on the inside of that, like in that corner, and then push it back just to stop any leaks. And then I'll put like a little dab on four corners and let the gasket do its own sealing. So let's get that done real quickly. Like I said, I'm just going to put a little dab. The valve covers, I'm going to put my original valve covers on. I was thinking about painting them, guys. I seen on YouTube, I seen a guy had a 318i that had a turbo, a 3.8 VR motor in it with a turbo, and he paid like $1,500 for it. I don't know if any of you guys seen it, but that was a good video. He's got two part sort of a thing, and he paid like $1,500 for a 2-part video. $1,500 is pretty cheap for that car. I tell you what, I would have bought it. I mean, I'm not into BMWs or anything, but it would have been a nice little sleeper. And it ended up having a blown head gasket in it, but I'll put a link up here for that video. I thought it was pretty cool. Let me do this one. Yeah, I'm going to do this one next, and this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm just going to just a little dab in this corner. I mean, what's going to hurt, right? Like that. A little dab in this corner like this too. Like that. Where's my lid now? I'll put that somewhere, didn't I? Let's put this here for now. And I'm just going to tuck this gasket. Let me wipe my hands here, guys. going to tuck this gasket just as it was, you know what I mean? Like, just so it prevents any sort of, any oils trying to, you know, seep out the side like that. And I like this design. It's pretty cool. And then now, I'll just put some silicone, just a little bit, not too much, like that. Like that. I noticed when I took these apart, it did have silicone up here, but try to keep it off the head though. Like that, you know what I mean? Keep it off the head. And if I'm doing it wrong, let me know, but it's going to be too late by the time this video comes out. Or if you guys bother doing this, but I've always kind of like seal them up. Where did my bloody cap go? You guys see where I put that down? Like I said, I'm just going to put a little dab somewhere. I'll find it. Anyway, like I said, I don't really use the Felpro, you know, the Felpro. Oh, here it is. Use Permatex for everything. Gold on that gold one on the exhaust. Just whatever application I do. Now, I'm going to bang these on. I'm pretty sure they go one way only. It's got dowels, 2 dowels, one there, one there. 2 dowel spots right here, obviously. Not putting any silicone on that. I don't know if it's a smart thing to do, but one there, one there. They fit nicely. And that gasket, there you go. You can actually see it coming through that hole. And another one on this side. Like that. Yeah, they kind of like come through. I hate oil leaks coming out of these corners, man. Small block Chevys are bad for China war oil leaks. I remember on my blue 57, man, that's not leaking, but I made sure I did this pretty good. Keep that off that. Am I doing it wrong, guys? Tell me if I am. I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. Like that. A little bit here like that. All right, I'm going to sit that intake on. If the intake's clean, now I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You can see it right there. See it's blocked off there? Right there. I'm going to sit this on. Give me a second now. Sit this on without dropping it. It's not heavy, just awkward to hold. Had to double check it then. How close am I? Pretty damn close there. Right on there. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right. That's sitting on there. I'm going to get all the bolts, get them all cleaned up, and bolt them in. I'll be back. All right, guys. Torque the intake on. I've got a little bit ahead of myself here, but they're all on. 11 pounds per square inch, 132 inch square. I don't know what it is in newton meters. I don't know. It's just that on the internet, it's just showing that, obviously, because it's over here in the States. So I kind of like went, you know, as I would do a cylinder head, one there, one here, one over here, then one over here, then back on this side end, and then back on this side end, and then the 2 middle ones. It's kind of like triangulated, I guess. I don't know how important it is on the intake, but that's how I did it. So the gaskets are on. China wall gaskets, rubbers are on as well. Intake's on, the bolts are all bolted down, and I think I'm going to start with the hanging the wiring on the front here. start with that, and then you know, put the alternator bracket on and stuff like that. I just want to get this all done because I want to start building the transmission for it here probably during the week or on the weekend. I've still got to take this bolt out here. This I showed earlier, there's a grub screw. I'm going to try to get that screw out first before I take this bolt out, because if not, I'm going to have to wind a half-inch bolt in there or something. It looks like half-inch. Could be, yeah, it's half-inch bolt. But yeah, there's a grub screw in the original motor. So, and I'll show you that later as I get it out. Yeah, like I want to hang the wiring up, get all that done, and yeah, go from there. So I guess first thing I'm going to do is put on the coil bracket. Okay, so get this big, I'll hang this over the motor. I'll keep this here for now, and try not to knock this off. Here we go. All right, coil bracket. Okay. Let's have a look. God, there's not really a lot of movement here, is there? Should have taken these wires off. Lazy. Alright, so I think it goes like this. Just put one through here first. Oh, that's not right, is it? Is it this one here? Take that out. I think it's this long one here. Go through here. That looks better. Through here. And this one here went down here because it also holds a dipstick, I believe. And the I'll just put it there because I think I've got to put the dipstick on, and the and a ground goes there as well. I know this one now goes, yep, that's right. So I'll just do them up like that. All right. I also put the back head bracket on. They're 15mm. Let's just get them nipped up. I usually use a socket for this, but I will in a minute. Just trying to get close, you know. So I can, I don't know how these, everything worked as far as running. So I'm just going to leave all these coils the way they are. I just clean up that bracket a little bit just to make it, you know, cleaned it up a bit. And I'll be back with that. I've just got to find out how to route the dipstick. I think it goes in now, and this bolt holds it. Be back. So I had to take off the coil bracket and the coils because I forgot this threaded stud in there. It's the Commodore's, it's blocked off. This held some sort of accessory on the other motor. I forgot what it was. It's in the previous video, but far out, man. Okay, it was tight. I got it off tight. Man, these are brilliant. These fire scripts. Oh yeah, now it's loose now. Oop. Scratching up the head. Not that it really matters, but anyway, here we go. Take this out and see if I can get that grub screw out of the other block and put that on. There you go, it's coming off now. If I can get the other one off, that'll be great. If not, I'm going to have to try to get one. But obviously I've got to get it in before I put the coil pack on. Also I need another O-ring for the dipstick. It was a little bit hard. It was soft, but it was just I'm just going to replace it. I don't want any oil leaks. It looked like it was leaking from there. But, you know, let's try to make it so it's not going to leak. I'll put the grub screw in if it'll come off with a little bit of Loctite on that. But yeah, goes in there like a little grub screw. Some sort of accessory on the Pontiac engine. I'll keep that. You never know what I can use it for, you know. All right, guys. So I'm up to putting all the wiring on. I had to do a couple of repairs. One of them was the coolant sensor here. This one actually goes to the ECU. So where was it? Here it is. You can see that right down the end there, the wire was cracked on both ends of the connection there, and then it was cracked here as well on the end. So I just snipped that off, and I replaced it with another Bosch. Well, that's basically an EV1 connector, right, for the fuel injectors. Same, pretty much the same. So I just snipped it off the old the Pontiac loom there and grafted it in there. I had 2 tans and yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. So I soldered them and then heat shrunk them. And also someone asked on the forum someone asked in the post if I repaired the ECU, and I have. Where is it? The ECU end here, where the fuel injection wires went. There they are there, the purple one, the grey one, and the blue one. So they're all done, connected, heat shrunk, and there's new wires up to here. If you have a look at this, these wires is what I cut off that, and you can see, I don't know what they were thinking here, but here's a blue wire, right, which is that blue wire here. It actually went dark blue and then back to blue again. So they put this small section in there. I don't know why. The grey wire was joint there too, and so was the purple wire. And I just took it off and redone it the right way. So now that is no more LPGs on that. That's all been cut. And then what I'm doing now is I'm just double checking all these wires as I go back just to make sure. And I found over here, there's a random yellow wire coming off. Where is it going? I don't know, just a yellow random wire going somewhere. Here it is here. You see this? And I don't know where it went, so I gotta look up for that. I don't know if it's something to do with, but just random. It's just been connected into the speedo sensor. Yeah, is it the speedometer sensor? Well, it's one of the speedometer sensor or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find one of these guys, one of these connectors here, and replace that as well. And I think that one's okay. It's not, the wires are a bit hard on that one, but whatever. I mean, I'll find out what they are exactly. I know one of them's a speedometer sensor, and yeah, that's the where it goes into the transmission. And this, yeah, so this yellow wire that's connected to that, I have no idea what that was for. Maybe someone probably know why they would put that in this connector here, and it went up, but it was disconnected, I think. But anyway, I'm gonna check everything, make sure the wires are in good condition, and then and go from there. But now I can just finish off the wiring that goes behind all the accessories. I'll be back. All right, so I've got the alternator on, the alternator / power steering bracket on. I've got the hose on for the from the water pump to the intake there. All the wiring's been, it's all neatened up. Got it all sort of like connected at the front here. I'm gonna put on the power steering pump next. I'm waiting on, I did eventually get this off. I worked it out, or someone actually online told me on the forum how to get this off, and another guy actually on another guy on the YouTube channel told me just tap it out. 26mm, from memory he said it was a 26mm O-ring, and I do apologize, I forget the name of the guy who told me that, but That's what he said. So I've got it coming anyway. I've got a whole kit that comes with the water pump, the timing cover gasket, the oil adapter / pump gasket, so, and the water pump gasket as well. And it comes with that O-ring. So I'm going to wait for that to get there, and I can kill two birds with one stone. Kill two birds with one stone. And he said you just put a bit of Vaseline on there and tap it in, and by the time you hold it onto here, you bolt it back onto here, that'll keep it nice and sturdy. So I'm going to get that done, and then I'm going to put the injectors back in. I'm going to try to clean the injectors somewhat, just temporarily. You can buy a kit that cleans each injector individually. So I'm just going to do that, clean them out. I might have to replace it, I don't know. I mean, it ran fine before it blew the conrod out the side of it. So I'm just going to give it a go. I will replace the spark plugs, but I want to get all that done, and then I'm going to hook into the transmission over there. So yeah, I just want to get it all done, put it all back together, and then slip it in the ute. I'll bring the ute in probably on the weekend. I'll move these cars like over there and slip the Commodore in right where we are right here, and then hopefully I'll get that put in and back together. So of course that'll be another video, guys. I want to get that and the transmission mounted. So I'm heading to Australia second week of January, so I really would love this going. So then if I need something, and as well for the LS conversion, I can just bring it all, you know what I mean? So, shipping from Australia is expensive, as well as going the other way, I guess. But anyway, so let me get into it again. I'm going to put this exhaust manifold on. I'm going to put the transmission lines on as well. Transmission lines after the automatics on, obviously. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm taking a step forward from where I left off. The engine's pretty well complete. Got a few little things to do to it. Got to find a gasket for the thermostat housing. It's got like 2 holes or 1 hole. I haven't seen anything like it. The counterpart, the American counterpart is different. So I'm going to a wrecker. And I remember seeing a couple of these early type LM3. I seen a couple of them like out of a 92, and I was going to get the one-piece cover that goes over, it's just a one-piece cover. I was going to grab it, but I forgot. So I'm going to go back and see what they've got for a gasket. Yeah, so it's all painted, pans on, exhaust is on. Been talking to a couple of guys from the the VN to the VS owners group there on Facebook, and they've been really helpful actually about the best way of putting the engine and transmission in. The 4L60E I was building is pretty much done, but mate, it's like pulling teeth trying to get the right parts over here. They gave me the wrong filter for it. They gave me like the 2000 on filter, which is designed for a deeper sump. There's like a step up. Like if you buy a like an LS sump or anything after I think 98, they've got a step in the pan, and this one's a flat pan. Yeah, I can get another pan for it, but I'm not going to waste money just to go get a deeper pan for this. So it's all rebuilt. I completely rebuilt it. Just stock configurations. It does have updated sprag in it. I had to get the another Sunshell. I had to get another Sunshell hub for it. It was broken, which is over here, I believe, or here it is. Yeah, yeah, that piece there was broken. See it there. And here's all the parts that come out of that transmission. All the clutches, 3rd and 4th are burnt out as usual. These seals here, this is early type, and I've got the bonded seals and stuff for it. So they don't have a seal. They're part of the piston. So I've got the later model ones of that. Updated the spring cage, the latest style, because I went out and I put, like I said, the update front shell in it. It's got a monster in it, but I got the one where this is part of the sprag. So the new one I got, this is all one unit. So here's all the stuff. I'm waiting on the accumulator. Still waiting on parts. Here's the...
that's actually the 3/4 accumulator piston there. It's actually the 1/2 accumulator.
I'm all confused. But I'm waiting on a new one of these to come. Here it is here. There's a piston. There's like a piston in there, and the bore's worn out. I just want to replace it. I updated the servo. Not quite Corvette like everyone wants to use. It's original VR one, but it's got the bigger springs in it, and it's got some relief for more oil. It's not a race car, guys, so I'm not going to spend $1 million on it, right? You know, I mean, at this point, it's already cost me $650. That's with that new converter over there. So, I mean, to rebuild a tranny yourself, I'm telling you, this cost me like $750 US. So, I've seen some prices over there for $2.5 grand US Aussie to get a 4L60E rebuilt. Cheap. I reckon it's cheap because it cost me about $650 to $700 to rebuild that thing. So it's almost ready to go in. I'm going to hook up some people say, you know, I get confused. Some people say leave the rack down, take the rack off, put it on. Some people say put the exhaust on with it, the header pipe, because you get to it easier. I'm going to try put that on the engine with the transmission. I'll have everything ready to go. I'm going to put it all together, and I'm going to drop it in that way. Hopefully I can get it in and slip it in with the header pipe already on there. Then yeah, it'll make life easier. Fixed up all the wiring, blew out the fuel lines from the back, took out the tank, took the tank out. I've got to replace the breather, cleaned the tank out. Tank's ready to go back in, because I had all 3-year-old petrol in it. Tested the pump and it works still. Cleaned out the radiator, flushed the lines out. Yeah, so it was over there, the car where my camper is. I had to push it with my Ford. I got a Ford diesel over there, and I just pushed it up the hill. Comes my cat for a visit. Anyway, yeah, so here it is here. She's looking a bit tired, the old VR, but it's all right. It's only a work jig, right, to go backwards and forwards to work. So, anyway, a bit dirty, but when I pull it back down again to rebuild it with the LS, I'll redo it all. I'll make it look decent. Repaint the engine bay, inside the bed. I don't know if I'm going to put some wheel tubs in it. I wouldn't mind tubbing it out a little bit. Put something American for a rear end in it, so you know I can get parts for it. Probably a 4.9-inch. It's getting a 4L60E that I'm built. Well, it's already been rebuilt, but I don't trust the guy. So I want to pull it apart and have a look and see. He told me he put a lot of new parts in it. I don't believe him, but we'll see. But first thing, I want to get that in there. I'm heading to Australia on Sunday. It is now Monday, so next Sunday, a week from now, the 15th of January, I'm headed to Australia and spend a couple of months there. Well, it's winter time here, so hey mate, what are you doing? Yeah, sun. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to do a bit more work. All right, guys, got the engine off the engine stand. Got the drive plate on, torqued up. I did eventually get the 1/2 accumulator. I had to go actually buy another one from a parts house here that sells transmission parts. So they had one. So I bought that and I cancelled the order on the other one. It was still in California and I'm in Kentucky, and I wasn't going to get here before I go home to Australia, so I need it as soon as possible. I've got the converter over there, so I'm going to grab that, put about a litre of oil in it, fluid in it, and then put it in. The pump's pretty quick on these. They fill up pretty quickly. Yeah, the GoPro ran out of power, so I'm just trying to sneak it in. So I was pretending to tape and realised that it ran out of power. So sorry guys, I'm using my iPhone. I'm starting to slide it in. I've got the exhaust all on and everything. But I've run out of length here with this. So what I'm trying to do, I'm on my own, is I've got a couple of like straps, and I've got them kind of, I'm trying to bend down the, trying to pivot down the transmission and pull it forward, and it's working. I'm just trying to get on the inside of this without taking out my condenser here. It's working, but I'm trying to get it in and then, you know, pivot it back down again, or get it to a point where I can safely put something underneath of it. I need to extend this arm, but now I'm in the position where I can't lift it out, but I can go down a little bit further. So I'm just going to keep going, see how far I can get it down, and maybe I can support it somehow underneath, and then like bring out this arm a bit so I can get more length. But yeah, bit of a nightmare on your own, but it's getting there. Everything's on, transmission, torque converter, everything, all the wiring's all hooked up. It's all going on in one piece. Exhaust, I was told to get it in with the exhaust, and it's not a bad idea unless you don't have to get up there and do up the bolts. This side here is sort of loose still, but you can get to that side, it's that side, but that side's nice and tight. Anyway, I'll just keep going and see what I can do. All right, guys, back on the GoPro. Okay, engine's in, engine mounts are on. What I did was I left from the guys on the forums there, back home in Australia. On the Facebook forums pages I'm talking about, pretty good guys, bunch of guys, pretty good. Few of them, you know, stupid comments, but you know, you expect that, and that's all right. It is what it is. You know, the old, you should put a 308 in it, you know, all that sort of stuff, thinking that I'm either in Australia or there's 308 Holdens sitting around at the wreckers everywhere, which, I mean, they're non-existent in Australia, right, for a decent one. So, I mean, you wouldn't put a Holden V8 in this unless it's like originally come out with it and you're going to take care of it, and you know what I mean? Because once something breaks on it, you got to get it from Australia. There's nothing here for that sort of motor. Here, this thing here, they're everywhere. An LS, they're everywhere. I mean, that's why I'm putting an LS in it. It's not because I've got to have an LS in this car. It's because if something breaks, it's just LS. I mean, you break a window or hit the front, or it needs a front guard or a door, sure, you're going to get it from Australia. But if something's going to keep you off the road and it's engine related, you don't want a set of head gaskets for a Holden 308 or a set of push rods for Holden 308. I'm sure you can get it here if you look, but you're not going to go to your local auto parts store and pick up a set of head gaskets for a 308, but you can for an LS, or maybe even one of these, you know what I mean? So far, everything for this is, if it hasn't been in the local supply store, auto supply store, it's been 2 or 3 days shipping. But anyway, so it's bolted in. I've still got to put the alternator, the air conditioning bracket on. I've got to put the oil filter on there. I've got to hook up all the fuel injection lines and stuff. Whoever had it before me, this wasn't me, guys, put like standard hose clamps. I've got a whole bunch of them. I've already replaced one on this side here. Right there, a new one. Transmission's all bolted up as well. Shifter's working, got all that hooked up. Rack and paint, I end up taking the rack out, just slid it back, made it so much easier. 2 bolts and everything fell out. Put the exhaust on. Actually, you don't see it guys, but I actually did take off the exhaust when it was 3/4 of the way in. It was going to be a mongrel, but with the rack, not even disconnected up the top, just with the rack, the 2 bolts and slid out the way, the exhaust goes in super easy. I mean, I don't know if people have said they've had a problem with them, but they're super easy. I've got to get another, there's a what is it, O-ring behind here. I'm just going to replace this O-ring. It looks a bit like wallowed out there a bit, so just going to go down and get one. I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty easy to find, something like that, GM. What else? Yeah, so next thing I'm going to do is put on the tail shaft, and then there's that little brace bracket. Where is it? Like a little small crossover piece. Oh, there it is there. See it? I've got that to go on. I'm going to clean up the tail shaft there, put on the tail shaft again, and get all the underneath done completely. And then start on the fuel tank, get that in there, and start in here, you know, making sure everything is. So I'm hoping to get some power and you know, just double check all the wiring and stuff like that. I'm sure it's not going to be you know, 100%, but here's for hoping, you know. But yeah, it's getting there. Got to get a few things like air filter. I've got an oil filter. I'm going to get more tranny fluid. Got to pop all this in through on the inside, hook up the ECU. All the repairs have been done on here. All the gas stuff has been taken off inside the cab as well. It used to have LP gas. That's all, you know, all the on-off switch and the solenoids and all that's all been removed. What else? Yeah, got to put the radiator back in, but I'll make sure the air con's in and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to run standard, the standard lines just for now. I am going to put a transcooler on it. I just built that transmission. Hopefully everything's all right. I mean, you saw the parts I pulled out of it. I mean, rebuilt everything. Took me 2 weeks to put that together. It was my first transmission. I used to build them. I used to work at Eagle Auto Spares in Dandenong in Victoria, I don't know, for 4 or 5 years when I was 18 to about 23. And, you know, I used to do turbo 400s and 350s, but I couldn't do one now. I wouldn't have a clue. Anyway, guys, that's that done. Going to, yeah, going to get it fired up. I'll be back. All right, guys, we're under a tornado watch here in Kentucky, and I think it's just gone past us. It was up in the atmosphere, but it didn't touch down anywhere. It went right between the next town over and in between us, which is not a very big sort of a gap, mostly all farmland, but it was up high, so it didn't affect us. So hey, yeah, everything's buttoned up, everything's together. I might have some of these in the wrong sort of spot, so I'll just neaten all that up, and when I get back to Australia I'll take a few pictures and have a look how people have put this wiring on. But everything is buttoned up. I just got in here, a battery's still charging. I might put the GoPro on a tripod and see if it'll start. I put fresh fuel in it. I put some tranny fluid in it, power steering fluid. Obviously I put engine oil, brand new AC Delco filter for now. I'm gonna run it. Hopefully it'll start right up. It drove from Maine to New Jersey without a problem. Yeah, I'm just got a bit of anxiety. I built the transmission in it, so I'm hoping it's all right, because if I have to pull that out and rebuild it again for some reason, I'm going to be pissed. So anyway, let me put this on the tripod. I'm talking shit now, and see how it goes. Today is Thursday, the 12th, I believe. No, it's later. 13th, maybe the 12th. I don't know. But we're leaving for Australia on Sunday. I'll be gone for 2 months. So the idea is get it running, and see what it needs, and then, you know, put them in a suitcase and ship them home. Or I'm there for 2 months, I'll just ship them home to here. But my calipers, my rotors from sitting around, these are just factory VR ones. Apparently you can put like later model ones on it, which we've got like VZ here, like in the GTO. I'd like to, there's my little stand here. I'd like to see what's involved. These tyres are really tight to the fender because this car sits pretty low. I don't want to, you know, muck around with the offset. So if the offset's pretty cool, then I'll change everything to VZ, right? Or whatever the GTO is over here, 0506. Apparently you got to change the booster, which I'm all for, but the only problem I have with that would be that the master cylinder, I would have to get an Aussie one, because obviously the master cylinder on our one here would be on that side, and it'll crash into the, you know, into the tower. Anyway, I'm talking shit again. So let me put this on a stand and see how we go. All right, guys. Forgot to put water in it. Well, I didn't forget to put water in it. I was just going to put it. I don't have water up here, so I went and got a bucket of water. Just water at the moment. See how it goes. It should be all right. Then I'll just drain. You know, a gallon of 4 litres, and I'll put some, you know, straight antifreeze in it. Call it that here, antifreeze, because it does freeze here. So, all right, here goes. Pretty nervous. Let's see if it fires up. I didn't have all the spark plugs put in, and I did crank it over. You know, obviously didn't have any plugs in it, but and the fuel did come up. I can hear it go up. You know, then it turned off the fuel pump. But anyway, here goes nothing. Got about 5 gallons. What's that? 4 litres a gallon. About 20 litres in it. All right, here goes. Not knocking. It hasn't been driven. It hasn't been started for at least. Well, the wreckers had it in the. Starting to smoke a bit of oil. I've dropped. Yeah, no big deal. No water leaking anywhere. It did take the water that was in there. So the wreckers, I bought it off up here in eastern Kentucky. It's been sitting there for, well, they lost count over 16 years because their records only go back. But by the number that it had on it, the numbers they put on, it was at least 16 years earlier. So, yeah, well, cranked right off, didn't it? It started. It's a bit loud, like as far as I think, because it hasn't been driven for a while. But what I want to do is I turned it off because I think it's idling a bit too fast. So I'm just going to back off that bolt, and I'll be back, guys. You know, I just started that up, right? And it sounded loud. Well, I shut it down, right? Probably started one more time after that, and I realised it's too loud. I didn't leave it running, but I had the pressure relief valve instead of it being in the block, you know, this way. You know what I'm saying? So instead of it being in the block this way, I don't know why, but I had it this way. You imagine that? Like I was having a brain fart. But it's supposed to sit this way, so I didn't start it anymore, and found out that I had it back way. Now I know I'm in the States, but I can't even find this gasket. It's got to be. I've got to order it in. I'm going to do some hunting, maybe an old school. There's a couple old school auto parts places around here. They might have it in stock, but like your AutoZone and your Advanced Auto, pretty much like. You know, like what you guys have got over there, you're super cheap and all that sort of stuff. Nah, they don't have it. Look at the design on this one, like on a normal one, on our one in Australia, they kind of like come out out this way, yeah, the filter. This one goes down because it's front wheel drive. So, you know, if that was on mine, that'll smash into the oil pan, or sump, sorry guys. But yeah, so I turned it around. Hopefully I didn't do any damage to the motor. I don't think so, it wasn't running that long, but yeah. So be careful, you know, it goes this way into the block, that way, not this way. So could have been bad, could have been worse. So just a note, you know. I took off, I left that out, I left the switch out, and oil pissed everywhere. So I know it's getting oil, but it sounds a little bit too tappety above. I don't really hear anything down low, and it hasn't been started for years. Maybe it'll get better, I don't know. Oh guys, I changed that adapter. I took the adapter off, changed that spring around. I didn't run it long enough to do any damage. I should have probably videoed it when I first started getting going for the second time. It's probably only been running for 2 minutes, and the valve train noise was 16 years of sitting sort of sound. You can imagine? But it's really quieting down a whole heap now. I don't know what temperature's like, but temperature hasn't even started moving yet, guys. So I'm going to check the tranny. I know it's going to have to probably take a couple of quarts or litres, or what do you want to call it. Yeah, it's on the check hot. It's in between where it says hot. It's like halfway up there, so it probably needs a little bit more. I've got the back up in the air, so I'll check out the rear end, eh? Smoky in here. Quieting down. Holes in the exhaust. Sounds good, the motor. Second. Third. Probably won't go into overdrive without having some sort of resistance. Reverse. Yeah, we've got all gears, I reckon. Sounds really good. Blowing any smoke? Well, it's blowing some steam, I guess. The exhaust, yeah, that's, yeah, condensation. A lot of condensation in the exhaust. It was sitting outside. I reckon the muffler must be pretty pretty chock-block full of water and stuff. So, oh shit, you know what I forgot? It had a bloody mouse nest in the muffler and I forgot to take it out, eh? I better undo that and do that again. Take it out, you know, but there's that many leaks in the exhaust. Oh, thermostats, water's up to here, guys. It's about to overflow. Mate, the motor's quiet. Motor's bloody quiet. That bearing there is a rain fart at the moment. Idler pulley, fuck's sake. Mate, that motor is sitting there quiet. It really is. I'm pretty happy about that. We had that tornado warning, so it rained a fair bit and I've got all mud at the front. I'm still building this house, but I'd love to take it for a drive once I get it all burped out and topped up and just let it sit here for a minute, eh? Let it blow out the cobwebs. What do you reckon? Sound alright? Of course, it doesn't have the air cleaner pipe there. Nothing's coming out of here. There we go. Now it's starting to burp a bit of water out of there. Yeah, it's starting to burp out the water out of here. Top radiator hose is hot. Bottom one's warm too, so we've got some circulation. Oh, that's topped off. I'll put this back on. I've got to get a new cap. Create a little bit of pressure in here, you know. There it goes. Now I'm creating some pressure and starting to burp out, you know, air out of the system. That on camera. No air, just water. Oh, yeah, bit of air there you go. I'm quite happy to let that burp out for a minute or two, so I'm just going to run out the back of the motor. Got some air in it. Oh, I didn't check power steering. I should probably take a little bit of pressure off this. See me, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's running. It's a 1994 Pontiac, a Bonneville SE engine that had 159,000 miles on it. Yeah, 200 and something Ks, but some old grandma had it and it got hit pretty hard in the side. And yeah, the guy even had pictures of the car. He has pictures and everything still. So I should have grabbed those pictures off the guy, but they've been sitting for 16 years, so now it's in a VR Commodore. So front wheel drive stuff does work, all short blocks are all the same. Running in it, and it's right here, so the thing I'll do is, I'll need some information on the brakes. I want to put VX brakes on it and probably a booster. I'm going home, so I might just get a brand new booster, eh? Don't know what I'm going to do about the frac brakes, if they need to be upgraded, but I need just info on that sort of stuff, guys. I'm going to drive it around this summer, this spring and summer, and then once I finish the house, I'm going to pull the motor out, get the 5.3 litre LS with the turbo on it. Probably going to upgrade the rear end. I'd love to put a set of mini tubs in it and be easy at the shop, so it'd be nice. Put a decent 4-link under it or a 4-bar setup. Yeah, that's all bled good there. Do that up, right? Put a 4-bar on it, some nice tyres, and just have some fun with it, eh? Oh, baby! She's purring. She's purring. Sounds alright. That's good. Alright. Watch, stumble, 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 right? No, nothing. Ah, good mate, happy. Hey guys, got the ute outside. I'm going to take it for a test drive, first test drive. It is minus 1.1 degrees out here, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It is freezing. Got my koala with me. It is filthy dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. I'm going to repaint this thing, but it is dirty. All right, let's take it for a test drive, eh? Hi guys, GoPro shit the bed again. Mate, they are the worst camera for doing this sort of stuff. But I think it's got all 4 gears, which is what I was hoping for. Just going around the block here. Just making sure if the drive seems to be driving alright. It's cold or the temperature sensor's not working. I'm pretty sure because of the 1 degree or minus 1 degree. It's probably going to get to about 3 today. So kicks down all right. Oh yeah. Ooh, forgot how this thing handles. Handles really well. Nah, it's pretty good, man. It's changing all gears, so it seems to be. Like I'm doing 45, it's just over 1,000 revs. Not registered or insured, so I've got to be careful, right? Guys, I'm really happy with it. Yeah, what do you reckon? We'll stop it right here. I'm heading to Australia tomorrow. Nephew wants me to help him do he'll probably watch this, but he wants me to help him do a 5 litre swap to his V6 VN. So it's going to be a bit of fun. We're going to video, we're going to YouTube that as well. So VN, V6 out and 5 litre in. So he's got everything there waiting to go. Just needs help doing it. So I reckon it'll be pretty fun. So be on the lookout for that video. And of course, I'm still doing my Tri-5 stuff. Now I'm going to hit a few shows. I'm going to see a buddy up country Victoria who's got a body shop up there, does all old school stuff. So I'm going to go visit him and do a video shoot there with for the YouTube channel. But yeah guys, I want to upgrade the brakes. I can get GTO stuff here, which is the VZ series stuff. So the temperature gauge is coming up a little bit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I want to do that. I'm going to buy the ring adapters. What is it, 70 to 75 millimeter ring adapters. Use GTO calipers,
And I was told, this being a Series 2 VR, that I don't need the brake line adapters. So guys, let me know about that. Leave a comment, and if you can, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, man. Help me out. Helps the algorithms out. If you don't mind, you know what I mean? It just helps me out, and it, you know, I'll make more videos. I do Holden related stuff in the US. Alright guys, that was a successful test drive. All 4 gears work perfect. Nice shift. I put a standard duty type of a shift kit in it. Now what I mean by standard duty, it's not a heavy duty shift kit where it snaps your neck first, second, third, fourth. It's all it is like an upgrade kit. I put a 500 a boost valve in the pump. It's got a wider band in it as well, and the transmission, and it's an upgrade kit. It's just the valve body's been the separator plate's been drilled out, and a few other bits and pieces, a few springs here and there, and it shifts really good. It shifts nicely. I didn't want to put a Corvette servo like everyone else wants to do, because I want to feel a nice first, second, third shift. It's a lightweight car, it doesn't need it. So the other transmission, it will, but drove good. The only problem, I think I've got a leak in the radiator, so I'm going to swap out that. I've seen a lot of V8 ones get put in these, which is fine. I can do that for now. So I was going to buy an LS radiator for it, and do a crossover if one of the pipes has got to go to the other side of the engine for now. But it's got a leak. It's on the inside of the core. I saw it was crushed. But happy with it. It drives good. It doesn't drive good. It drives like absolute crap. It needs probably work underneath, tie rod ends, just bits and pieces. I've got a thump, and I know the thump, I remember it. I think the rear end's hitting underneath the floor, so I've got to work all that sort of stuff out, But I'm happy with it, guys. Like, subscribe. I'm heading over to Australia tomorrow, and yeah, stick with us. Like I said, we're going to be doing a few things over there too, so it's going to be fun. See you later.